Welcome back, everyone. Kil2 here again with another short video commentary. I got a fight with a MOA, or flying a MOA, which I bet you guys will appreciate since it's another cruiser and kind of a weird one. Before I start the video, I just want to quickly go over how I got the fight, since that seems to be the thing that people want to know the most about. So, I was in Jeddah, set destination to BWF, which is an entry system, a 0-0 entry system to Geminate. That's about 12 jumps from Jeddah. Fly straight there. BWF didn't work. I think there was a blob on the gate, so I just burned back to the gate, jumped out, then set destination to LXQ, which is an entry system to Ethereum Reach that's only 6 jumps away through Lowsec. On the way through Lowsec, I flew past a pirate gang, which I tried to split up by burning off the gate and seeing if like one cyclone would chase me and engage under gate guns, but they stuck together pretty well, and MOA is not great for that anyway. So I warped off and then, just flew back through the gate, no problem, and headed to LXQ, and we're going to pick up the video after I jump into LXQ. So I'm going to start that now. And we'll get a minute to talk here, because the first thing that happens when I jump in is there's just this stiletto on grid, and he tackles me and orbits far out. The chance of getting a tackle on him isn't great, but I'm also thinking, so yeah, I guess this is sort of not obvious, but a stiletto, it can't hurt me. You can see he's not doing any damage, but he's tackling me, so that makes me think that he's got something that's going to be able to kill me. So I'm not necessarily excited to engage him to aggro, because I might aggro him and then like 6 Falcons decloak or something, and I'd kind of rather wait and see what they're actually going to try and kill me with before I aggro, or wait for something that's easier / more likely for me to kill. Then this Dramiel uncloaks, and I think he's going to kill me, but instead he attacks the stiletto. So now the Dramiel is chasing the stiletto away from me, and I start burning towards them, thinking maybe the Dramiel will get a tackle on the stiletto, they'll slow down, and I can jump on top of the Dramiel, since it's more valuable, I guess, and kill that. But they're quickly out to like 140k, there's no chance of that happening. So we'll get a second here while they kind of give up on each other and come back. And I'll just say the fit for the MOA is micro warp, scram, and then a passive shield tank. I've got 2 extenders. You can do an extender and an invuln to get more power grid. And then damage control in the lows with 3 mag stabs, so I have a lot of damage. And then just blasters and a small newt in the highs. So here's the Dramiel's coming back, and now I'm pretty far off the gate, so I'm kind of committed to an engagement in a way. Dramiel tackles me, and I'm always a little disappointed with this situation. I feel like I should do more damage than I wind up doing, but it's fine. And it'll get better over the course of the fight as my small newt takes its toll. So to begin with, he's got a pretty good orbit. I'm not moving in a straight line. None of that's very good. But I start to eventually get a little bit of damage on him, and then this stealth bomber decloaks. And the stealth bomber, as you remember from my thorax fight, is really important to get rid of, because he's going to do tons and tons of damage compared to the Dramiel. So I start burning towards, I'm actually able to get the Dramiel to go away from me, and I'm not sure if he was doing that because he's chasing the stiletto again, which came back to the grid, or for another reason. There's also a rock shooting me, but I don't know how relevant he is. Anyway, I think the Dramiel went after the stiletto again, so that sets me free, and then I'm able to burn towards the bomber, and the stiletto had actually tackled the bomber, so it's kind of a cool 3-way fight. This is the sort of situation that really makes me like PvP. It's like in the middle of the fight, it's impossible to tell what's going on a lot of the time, but you can kind of get things done anyway. So I think the Dramiel and stiletto were still fighting each other right there. I'm able to warp off right after I kill the hound, and that's pretty much it. So I don't know, I guess this is just an example of how you can roam in a small ship. Roaming in the MOA in a way is a lot like roaming in a frigate. You can do the same sort of thing in your own interceptor or rifter or whatever it is, where you just go to entries, you get in and try to isolate frigates or something. It's kind of what the MOA is doing. It's not great at killing frigates, but I could do the same thing against a recon or maybe even a vagabond. In this case, I was able to pick off that hound and then get out of there. So that worked out pretty well. I'm going to stop this track right now, and then I'm actually going to move up. I have this bonus fight that is just ridiculous, but I felt like I wanted to talk about it at some point, and so I'm going to include it in this video since the MOA fight is alright, but could use a little backup. And the next fight is a fight I had in a Talos, and it's really an example of a lot of things not to do. I was on my way back from a roam where all my friends had died, so I'm solo, and we had flown past a recon gang on this entry system in EC-P that we couldn't engage earlier in the day, and when I came back to the EC gate, I warped to a spot off the gate to make sure I didn't land in a bubble, and when I landed, I saw a rapier sitting on top of a wreck down by the gate, and I'm just too greedy. I couldn't resist the opportunity to try to kill the rapier. Unfortunately, the normal battlecruiser pilot in me thought warp to the wreck because I want to be as close to the rapier as absolutely possible so that he can't get away from me with me double webbed. But that was really stupid because a rapier really close range with the Talos that doesn't have a scram or web is theoretically going to be able to just orbit me, and I won't ever be able to hit it because of my large gun. So that was a terrible decision. Anyway, I'll start the video now. So you can see me now. I'm in that spot off the gate, and I'm warping now to the wreck at 0. and what happens is just really funny to me. I land, you can see here 3K from the rapier. He sets an orbit like he should, and I don't have any tackle, so I don't have any way to slow him down. What's funny is, for whatever reason, I'm actually able to do pretty good damage to him. I think he tried to orbit with his micro warp on, and so his orbit keeps like flinging him out to 4K, where he kind of stops and pivots and heads back in. And you can see here he's at like 3,500, and he'd be way better off just turning his micro warp off and orbiting me at 500. I would probably not really hit him at all, but you can see how awesome the Talos is. I just do so much damage. I mean, it takes like 4 volleys. I just put him from 60% armor or 80% armor to dead. He just died. And then there's another rapier in Arazu. Arazu has me damped, so I can't target the other rapier. Otherwise, I'm in really good shape. But I overheat a micro warp and burn towards him, and it turns out that just moving 1K towards him was exactly what I needed to get a lock. And so now I can load null. I'm doing like 700 DPS from this range, and he starts to melt pretty quickly too. Unfortunately, I don't know if this tornado gets a volley off or if it's just the 2 recons, but as you can see, I don't have any armor left. So I just quite don't have enough HP, and they finish me off right there. So that was just kind of a really weird fight, but I guess in a way another example of how to get a fight. I mean, I took bait in a sense by warping to that wreck, but when you do 1,000 DPS, you can at least get your money's worth, I guess. I killed more than I lost, so worth it for me. Anyway, a couple random ones. I'm going to try and focus on how to get fights for you guys, because I think that's the thing people have the hardest time with, not actually flying their ships, although I'm sure that kind of stuff is important too. So thanks for watching. More stuff soon. See ya.